welcome back to Benny's Take. I'm your girl Benny, and we're back on the couch. We're back on the couch because we're watching Love is Blind season 10. I do have to apologize. The last videos, a couple of them just like ended abruptly because my camera died and my microphone died. So like I was talking, I said goodbye and everything, but it didn't pick it up. And I wasn't about to go ahead and come back and do it again. And so then the other footage, why I done recorded the whole footage, okay, edited the entire video, about to upload it, and then accidentally deleted it like permanently. So I spent like all of yesterday trying to recover the last video that I uploaded. And so the last video that I uploaded, it ain't got no beginning because I ain't had the beginning file. And I wasn't going to throw away the entire video just because it ain't had no beginning. Okay, my mama raised me right. I know how to say hello. So hello to everybody that watched my previous video. I meant to just like start on y'all, unannounced. But like yesterday, I was crashing out. I crashed out like 3 times yesterday. Okay, and then it came a point, I was like, let me go ahead and bake me some cookies. And I made me a margarita. And I danced all over the house. Okay, Sometimes you just got to go ahead and do what you got to do. For me, I needed me a drink. I needed me something sweet. And I needed to just go ahead and shake it loose. Because that's what I ended up doing. Beloved, go ahead and subscribe. Is what I'm trying to tell y'all. I will not be before y'all long. And somebody had also commented that sometimes, it's hard on them to follow up some of the content that I'm putting. Because I'm so behind. To that, I apologize, y'all. YouTube is not easy. I've been doing my best. Like in the last week alone, I've put out 7 videos, okay? It's not easy because I also don't do this full time. I have a whole nother job. I run a cleaning business. So sometimes it's hard for me to just like get time to actually record. But I've been doing my best. Like I have to go clean out later, but I woke up a little extra early to go ahead and record. So what I'm trying to let y'all know is that I'm doing my best, and thank you guys for keep coming back. Thank you guys for watching my videos, even though I'm behind. On this here video, we're gonna do episode 7 and episode 8. I believe, is that where we left off? Because I did episode 6. Whatever the next episodes are, I'm gonna try to combine it together, at least 2 episodes. That way we catch up. I will not be before y'all long. I mean that today. Okay, I have every intention of not being before y'all too long. So let me just go ahead and just, introduce my lips to each other so we can go ahead and get started with this, shall we?
He should have gone home after his grandpa died.
And so you have episode 7 that opens up with our good sister, Real Desperate Housewives of Brittany, and Devante, who should have been gone there to help the dead bury themselves, right? And so you have Brittany talking about how like he should have just went home. He's not, being present over here, this, that, and the third. And then he gonna come back and he gonna be like, it's just hard right now. It won't always be like this. I'm sorry. Like, I hear you. But like the I hear you came after a whole lot of but. You're saying this, but you're saying this, but I'm feeling this. You're saying this, but also. Like it just came after him not validating what she was feeling, even though he was down there in the pool letting his boys know that she needs a lot of like reassurance. Reassure her. Reassure her, because in that moment he did reassure her, and it did make her feel better. She cried and all of the things. And I'm just kind of like, why do some of y'all need to almost like break a woman down? Why do y'all need to see her tears before you could take it seriously, whatever it is that she's telling you? What do some of y'all need that? It's literally so annoying to watch. Like, and mind you, I still maintain, I don't care what nobody says. He don't like that woman because she's Latina. She don't like him because he's already fat. At this point, she's already settling. Okay, she's trying to make the emotional connection work. Even though you got Alex on the other side talking about how like, baby, we could go ahead and, we could switch up right now. We really could. If you're in the same position, I'm already trying to tell you where I'm at with Ashley. If you're feeling the same about your person, let me know. We could wrap this up right now. Okay? And it's like, don't leave for Alex, but also leave. It broke my heart that she decided to go ahead and put sex on the table to keep a man who been shown her that he don't want her. Comment down below and let me know. Do you guys think that maybe not going down there to his family is actually, making him feel a little bit more distant, like he's actually regretting the decision to not go back home to his family? I feel like yes. To some extent, he should have gone home to be with his family. However, come a period, because you did not choose to be with your family, you also then, had no right to treat this woman this way, even though she gave you the option on some like, if you want to go home, you can go home. Like it was unfair for her to feel the way that she's been feeling because you were sitting over here processing and not communicating, okay, what you're processing. If it is in fact that he was just grieving the loss of his grandpapa, which by the way, I'm sorry for your loss. Nonetheless, you should have went home and not let the dead bury themselves. And now you see the consequences of trying to stay on my screen instead of you to go down there and handle business with your family. Okay? I had to pull my camera back because I realized that we was close and personal. I mean, like y'all was like down my nose. Like what why I did that for? Anyways, so now we have them going back home, they're calling their families, all of the things. And can somebody comment down below what the hell is Alex talking about? Oh, I'm used to this lifestyle. Like he's making it seem like he's lived this like, nomad of a lifestyle, like I'm used to moving. And I'm just kind of like, if that's you, why are you trying to almost like he's like bragging about like, how he's been nomadic all of his life. That's not. Comment down below and let me know. That doesn't sound like a flex to me. And also, somebody in my other comments was like, oh, his name not even going to be Alex. He's been exposed. Now, I've been doing my very best. Whenever I see Love is Blind content online, I'm swiping so fast. I want to make sure that my opinions are my opinions alone, that I'm not being persuaded by what other people are saying. Like, I actually want to watch this, say what I think before I address, before I enjoy other people's content or commentary around Love is Blind. So, what is that about Loki? Without spoiling too much, what is that about? Because he just keeps talking about how much like he's a nomad, and I'm like, beloved, that's not a flex. Get you a home that you could lay down at consistently, a bed frame, a headboard, like something. To be out here gallivanting and tootsie rolling, that's not the flex that you think it is. It's almost like, again, I think I said it in my last review, it's almost like the idea of like being a nomad and traveling a lot, I think maybe something that would have been tied to him being a professional soccer player. And he hasn't let that go. He really has not. Like, oh, I'm used to this lifestyle because, I travel. Where you go? Like, where exactly has he actually been? For real, for real. Because he keeps talking about it and I'm not sure. Comment down below and let me know. And so then you have Blabbermouth O'Connor and I guess it's a Breezy who won't let this whole Chris thing go. And they're on the bed. They're just talking. And she going to ask like, hey, like what's something you like about me? And he going to be like, I just love how ambitious you are. I love how you go for everything that you want. And I'm like, beloved, you might need you to go ahead and find something that you're going to love about her. Because what she wants right now is down to earth Chris. Okay, and she don't ask you for permission, like, okay, it's gonna be hard now, but I'm gonna be going down there to find the short king. Okay, I'm gonna keep trying. The minute I see him having a little bit more of a bad day with Jesse, I'm gonna swoop right on in. Right now he's happy, but as soon as he's not smiling, okay, I'm gonna swoop on right in. Okay? So you might need you to find something else that you're gonna like about her because what she wants right now is down to earth Chris, beloved. That's what she wants. Okay? All right. And so now we see Devante who done left the dead to go ahead and bury themselves. He's over there with Brittany and they seem to have like, reconnected. And it's like, I'm happy to see it because she seems a little bit more, lighthearted. But again, given her commentary around, let's just go ahead and have sex, if that's going to make you feel happy, I hate it. Not that I hate her happiness, but I hate, the thought of like, okay, what else is she compromising on to keep this man who's already fat, mind you, according to her own words? Because Devante, he's already arrived at his fatness. Me and him, we've already arrived. Other people, y'all got a couple cookies, a couple burgers, and some fries to join the rest of us. But Devante has already arrived to his fatness, okay? You don't even like that man, and you're working like, 3 times as hard as him to maintain the said relationship. So as much as I'm glad to see her like, in better spirits, I'm also just kind of like, okay, I wonder what other compromises, okay? I wonder what other ways as she betrayed herself to keep this man happy. I don't want them together, honestly. Like, comment down below and let me know. And so now you have Amber and Chef Jordan. They visit each other's homes. I'm going to make a separate video about this, but it's like, men are not really Men are not socialized to care about their environment. They're not socialized to care about their space, right? Because, first of all, her house was a little bigger than his because, again, she has a daughter, obviously. But like when you look at like the caliber of the space, Jordan is still living as if he's like 21 years old. Like it's giving like the couch don't even make no sense. It's a couch, right? But it's like it's not giving like this place he's, taken care of. Like there's any intention or there's any like thought behind the space. It's just like it's a couch because it's a couch. It's a table because it's a table. You know what I'm saying? Like comment down below and let me know. Cause it's like women, when we got to her house, when we got to Amber's house, she tells a story about like, oh, this house was like a beat up place, and I had to transform it to look the way it looks right now. And the house is not only clean, but you can tell like there's a little bit more, there's a style to it, right? There's a little bit more intentionality to the space in a way that we just didn't get with whatchamacallit, Chef Jordan. And so the two of them begin to talk about how like, the move, right? Like, cause I think they're like an hour apart and he wants to go ahead and live closer to the city. And, she has a daughter, obviously. So that's something that she has to think about. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. Love is Blind is not the place to marry somebody, right? Blindly on my screen, especially if you have a kid. Okay, because now you have Jordan. It hasn't become an issue, but I can tell you this right now, it's going to be an issue. Jordan still wants to be around the city, but she realistically cannot just be around the city too much because her daughter goes to school on these parts of town. And it's at least an hour away from the city. If she decides to go ahead and go to the city to find the love, okay, to follow the love that she don't go blindly on my screen, if she follows that, if she follows Jordan down there in the city, she gonna have to be driving an hour just to accommodate, her child being in school. Those are things that, you know, whenever you're dating somebody, like say she met Jordan in real life, whenever you're dating somebody in real life, it gives them enough time to get used to the idea of like, okay, I have to move to the suburb, right? It gets them used to that idea. Or if it's the whatchamacallit, if it's Amber in this scenario that has to move to the city, it gives her at least a year, at least 2 years to organize herself with her daughter and her daughter's father so that the two of them can, make a decision that's going to align best so that child still sees her father. When you meet somebody on my screen in less than 10 days, you go to Mexico for less than 5 days or whatever the case is, and then you got to come back and get married to them and change your life in literally 4 weeks. It doesn't make like it's exponentially harder on single parents to do that because you cannot just uproot your child. You just cannot. At least I hope you will not approach your child for a man that you met on my screen blindly. I hope you would give it time. Because if you're gonna go ahead and trust a person in less than a month or whatever the case is, your child still needs time to get used to them. Your ex, whoever you had the child with, also has to get used to the idea of like, okay, this is gonna be a new person that's gonna be a constant part of my child's life. What background checks need to happen? Because Love is Blind is known to have weirdos. Remember the other guy that was on a date with Emma and was doing the most? Like, these are things that people have to consider, right? Comment down below and let me know. Maybe I'm just like, maybe I overthink certain things. So comment down below and let me know. So why we gonna have Christine Mama who meets whatchamacallit Vic for the first time, and why she gonna be like, what the hell are two educated people doing on Love is Blind? Like Mama was like, that's a show for dummies. Okay, I don't watch the show and it's like the brain cells are always in Guatemala. Okay, the balls in Yemen. What did the two of y'all like? You, Vic, you sound very just like put together, very educated. What the hell? What the hell? You done went to this show, and why Christine went on this show? Cause I know my daughter smart a little bit. Like what the hell? And I was like, Mama, I agree. And I feel extra dumb watching this show. I've been losing brain cells literally just watching this show. But you have the meeting that goes well, they pray together, and Mama gonna be like, he seems to really love Christine, and he hot. And I'm like, Mama, why are you trying to risk it all for your son-in-law? That is your son. Okay, Vic is easy on the eyes now. He's very easy on the eyes. But Mama, that's your son-in-law. He's good looking. He's, he's handsome, but like hot? Jalapeno hot? That's for your own man, beloved. That ain't something you say about your son-in-law now. Like that's not Christ-like. Okay, that's not Christ-like. But the meeting went really well, and the mama seemed to like him. And the two of them, I haven't seen anything about them to make me feel like, okay, it's gonna be a problem. I haven't yet, at least. Please, all this entire cast, it could be a problem down the line. But so far, I have not seen nothing. And so, to my point from earlier, you have Breezy and Blabbermouth O'Connor who go to his house, right? And I'm talking about this house is not only disorganized and messy, this house is dirty.
I've ever seen before.
Okay, it's so much dust on them tables. Okay, from dust we came. The rest of the dust that we came from is still on Blabbermouth O'Connor's table. Okay, the dust of my savior and used to go ahead and make what's his name, Adam. Some of the dust is still on O'Connor's table. Like wipe your countertops, beloved. Again, men are not socialized to view their space as a place that they have to take care of. Right, I'm gonna make a specific video on that because I have some thoughts. But it's like the place, it just gave dingy. Like one of the rooms, like the bed was like on the floor, and then why he gonna have like this big old whatchamacallit, them old school, bed frames that has like the little, things on the side. It's just like, what is this? A lot. This is too much. And you have Breeze over there like Connor, like what the hell is this? And I'm like, yes, girl. Maybe Chris's house gonna be better because he be plunging himself in the morning. Maybe he has a little bit more discipline to go ahead and pick up and clean up after himself. Because it's like, again, what the hell? And so why now we gonna have whatchamacallit, Alex and Ashley, who meet Ashley's parents? And when I tell you, this is an interrogation. This is not no conversation. Papa ain't came to play.
How old were you when your mom remarried?
And the more Alex is talking and the more the dad is asking him questions, this baby is lying about something. Because how many jobs does he have? First of all, he's MAGA. It's one thing to be conservative, but there's a difference between being conservative and being MAGA. Okay? It's like one is a cult. One is a cult. Okay? And I believe on the table, all of them are MAGA, if I'm understanding correctly. I don't have the time to be replaying all this back and forth. But this is an interrogation, literally. Because the dad wasn't playing. What school you went to? What's your favorite color? What's your mama's name? What's your father's maiden name? How long your parents been together? Were they ever married? Like, this was an interrogation. This literally was an interrogation. And the more he keeps talking, it's some things that's not making no sense. Okay, plug in the numbers. Where this baby work at? Okay, because he has a job down there in Florida, a potential job in Arizona, and then he has another potential, like, what does he do? Financial, whatever the case is. He went to school for finances, but that's not what he's doing. He's coaching, but he also has a financial job on the side. Down there in Guatemala, he got him a job. He's also a fishers of men. Down there in Jerusalem, he's there because remember, this baby done travel a lot. He's just like, what exactly is your job? Don't nobody seem to know. Yeah, I'm calculating. Okay, I'm plugging in the numbers. I cannot figure out this baby's job.
Tampa to San Diego, San Diego to Phoenix.
And he gonna talk more about what he means by, like, he done traveled the world, because you got Ashley over here was talking about how, like, as I was in the pods with him, this man just like reminded me of you guys. He felt like home away from home. All the BS, right? Mind you, this baby trying to leave you for that Latina spice, okay? He's trying to go home to that sazon. You ain't got no sazon. You got black pepper and salt. And you try to put a little paprika on your lips and it's not working. That's not that natural Latina spice that baby wants. Nonetheless, right? This baby gonna be like, oh, he done traveled the world. The daddy gonna ask, like, where to? He gonna be like, I've been to Florida, I've been to Arizona, and I think I've been to like New Zealand. And I'm like, beloved, that's not the world. Okay? 2 of the places are only in the US. And he said, well, Australia. You visited 2 countries. That's it. That's not traveling the world. I was thinking traveling the world, this baby was going to be like, oh, I went down there to Zambia. I've been to Zimbabwe. I went to Seychelles. I've been to, London and them. I think he done visited London for a little while. Oh, I went to Egypt. I went to, the Netherlands, Sweden, like all these different countries. This baby mentioned too. And he going to talk about how much he's a nomad and he been all over the world. Beloved, no. You've been to 2 countries. That's not traveling the world.
And I lived in Australia for a year.
And he gonna be like, he had like a severance, package that allowed him to go ahead and travel the world, as he calls it. And I'm like, that ain't the world. That is not the world. To have lived in like 2-3 countries, that's not traveling the world. Literally, that's not traveling the world. I've lived in 3 countries. Okay? Different states. Like, that's not traveling the world. I would not consider myself somebody that has traveled the world. But again, Alex is lying about certain things. And so you have the dad that's going to be like, you sound charming. You sound like calculated, but I don't believe you.
Look at me right here. Are you making that up?
I don't believe you. Something about you is off. And we learned that the dad was like, a lawyer and whatever the case is. So again, this was an interrogation and this baby was lying through his teeth the whole time. Okay, but you got Ashley over there. Can't calculate some things. Okay, she just, it's not making no sense to her. The more Alex is talking, the more it's easy to catch him in lies. Because then the dad started calculating on something like, okay, you're going to talk about your grandparents, right? Your grandparents, you're claiming being together for like 50-something years. But then they died when they were 67. How? The dad was like, let me go ahead and carry the 3. Okay? If Johnny had 5 apples, and your grandpapa and your grandmama was married together in holy matrimony for 53 years, and then they done die at 67. When exactly did they get married? At 7? What are we talking about?
The story that my
that
aunt,
long.
It was.
He was 60 what when he died?
No.
But he was like, well, I don't know. My auntie just told me, beloved, stop lying. Okay, stop lying. Stop lying. Okay, but then again, he's my guy. My expectations are in hell. Okay, in hell.
Did get beaten a decent amount growing up.
Just lying for no reason. And he done said that talking about how, like, I got beat up a lot when I was a kid. I had like a rough upbringing, blase, blase. And I'm like, beloved, they did not beat you hard enough. Like, the way you are a menace, okay, the way you are a liar, the way you're a menace to society right now, with all the stories like, it's giving, they did not kung fu you well enough. I'm sorry, they really did not, because this baby is willing to leave Ashley, okay, to get him that Latina spice. And it's like the dad was just like asking questions after questions after questions. At one point, I can't play everything, right, but at one point the dad was like, did you just make that up?
Are you making that up?
No.
Look at me right here.
It sounds like he's making a lot of things up. But because he talks so fast, it's almost like it's distracting. You can't really catch certain things unless you're paying attention. Now, who has the time to be doing this level of interrogation with somebody that didn't decide to go ahead and marry blindly on my screen? Who has the time to be doing that? Just tell the truth. But no, not Alex. The dad gonna be like, you were polished. That's exactly like verbatim. That's what he has said. You were polished, but I don't believe you. And he gonna be like, my daughter is a bad picker. Beloved, I believe you. Look at the lips she picked for herself. It don't even go together it don't go. Beautiful girl. Very beautiful girl with a beautiful gown. But it don't go. Bad picker. Bad picker. And this is coming from your dad, your lawyer dad. Your dad has been interrogating people for a living. I believe him. You are a bad picker. I believe him. But all of y'all MAGA, so I don't really even care at this point. Next, please.
But I don't think honesty is his strength.
Last thing on this man, why he gonna say like, honesty is not his strength? Lord. Sometimes parents be knowing, okay? You had the mama who was just like listening the whole time. But honesty not gonna be his strength. Talking is his strength. Lying, okay? Lying very much his strength. Honesty, What a way to call somebody a liar, right? Like honesty, is not his strength. That's an area of growth right there. Okay, area of growth. Bruh. And so now you have call him, Mike and Emma, they down there on their bed and they talking about kids yet again. And at this point, I'm so over both of them, right? He should have never proposed to her. She should have never said yes. But again, both of them wanted more screen time. At this point, both of them wanted more screen time because you had Emma who already lied to him, talking about how like you was my first. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. And we have Blabbermouth O'Connor over there who is a blabbermouth. Did he perhaps mention to you at all? Are you aware and you still just wanted to get more screen time or like what's going on? Because the conversation on kids come up again. Oh, when I got my phone back, I just saw like, my friends are having kids and, I'm going to want to have kids. She been told you how she feels. She been told you. And Emma, you know how he feels. What are both of y'all doing on my screen? At this point, what are y'all doing on my screen? If not to irritate my life and raise my blood pressure. What the hell? So now we're in episode 8, and I just want everybody to go ahead and clap for me. Because I told y'all I was not going to be before y'all long, and I'm keeping my word to y'all for real, for real. I'm not stopping every which way, trying to do all of the things. I'm just keeping it cute and mindful. So everybody go ahead and clap. One day I will move out. I really will. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I will. Anyways, so why we gonna end up at Chrissy's house? And what I said, this baby is tidy. Of all the guys' apartments, his feels like, that's a grown-up apartment. It feels clean. It feels like, well polished and whatever the case is. And you got his little, plunger water thingy on the side. It's this little tiny thing and whatnot. And I'm just kind of like, what did his parents do to help him get to this point? Because all the other guys, their apartments gave nothing and a half. Literally nothing and a half. And so now we get to see, what's her name? We see Jessie's house, and baby, she's a doctor. She's an infectious disease doctor, and that house can show. Okay? And why is she the one that tempted Eve down there in the garden? What's up with all the snakes in your house, beloved? Like, what the hell? You don't like you some pigeons, huh? Ain't no giraffe, no pigeons, no puppy, like nothing. What's up with all the snakes? It's like a snake carpet, a snake lamp, it's a snake freeze, like everything was a snake. What the hell? But you have the two of them having a conversation, and you can clearly see that she out-earns him, okay? She out-earns this man, but she's not making him feel like money is like a factor at all. I love you, like, and I want to, be with you. We could figure things out, moving here or whatever the case is. And he going to talk about how, like, that could be like a little bit more of like a transition, blase, because, I'm closer to the city and like, you are what, in the suburb, and it's like we're 12 minutes apart. It's like just having those conversations. But like money has not been a thing that she's made him to feel uncomfortable on. Comment down below and let me know.
Jerome Powell, the head of the Fed.
Now it's Jerome Powell that be saying some things that's going to help the markets. One thing about Nomad Alex, like he's just going to lie. And you got Ashley who don't really know what's going on. Okay? She's just sitting over here like, is that a work call? And I'm like, beloved, did you not maybe ask your dad on the side, like, okay, what are some of the things that you picked up from, Alex? Because this baby is just like talking to talk at this point. Nomad Alex, he's just talking to talk at this point.
Like when do you want to, get out of Cleveland?
Just depends.
So you got this lady who has a meeting with, her company, just trying to see if she could get that promotion that she's been wanting to talk about, right? Because it's like if she gets a promotion, I guess like maybe that's when they're going to try to move out of Cleveland. But you have Alex over here who wants her to move immediately. Like allow this girl, okay, with her real job. Let's be for real, with her real job, with her real adult job, to figure some things out. This guy who is a nomad, who has traveled all over the world, and mind you, all over the world is 2 countries. This guy wants this baby to go ahead and move today. And she keeps saying like, hey, let me have the meeting first. Then we can go ahead and talk about the move. Allow me to have the meeting. We just got home 5 minutes ago. Literally. And he's gonna be talking about how like, oh, I don't want to be trapped in Cleveland. Beloved, you've been to 2 countries. Okay, and 2 states in the US. It ain't giving you a world traveler, okay? Pump the brakes. Okay, pump the brakes. My God.
Like the soccer coach is basically sending me a contract today to kind of take a look at.
Now he got another job offer as a soccer coach down there in Florida. Let's actually start tallying up how many jobs he got. So now he's on the computer with Jim Powell. Is it Jim? Jerome. Jerome gonna be Powell, okay? And he gonna be tracking all of the things with the financial trading. Or is he trading? So that's what he's doing, okay? Then he got a financial job in Arizona. Then he got another job offer in Florida. Beloved, like, is this like, is one arm gonna be in Florida, the other foot in Arizona, and your other toes in Cleveland? Like, what the hell? You got another job offer? This man is lying. I'm sorry, this man is lying, honestly.
He said politically it does align with where I think we're both at, where we both stand.
Politically, it aligns with where we're both standing. So both of y'all are MAGA. Go ahead and be gone, please. Go ahead, just go ahead and be gone, please.
Obviously, great education as well for kids. So
Which great education does Florida? Don't piss me off.
I'm gonna talk to my boss tomorrow.
And she keeps reiterating, I have nothing else to say. Allow me to talk to my boss. Because since you're over here piecemealing 75 different careers that you're able to do, one in Cleveland, one in Arizona, one in Florida, and then you be traveling the world, which equals 2 countries that you also have jobs at over there as well, okay? Unlike you, Nomad Alex, she has a job that she has to calculate some things and make sure things are moving forward. This man does not care about her at all. Even the way he's talking, I have priorities. I have things that I want to check off the box list. I have. At no point is it ever a we. It's never an us. Nothing. What did you see in this man?
you feel like I've been as open with you as well, like nomadically.
Yeah.
You feel like I've been open with you nomadically. Nomadically, Alex. Like, he just, my God. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I'm not even saying this to be mean. I'm so glad the soccer career did not happen for him. Because imagine him with actual access. Imagine him with actual, the ability to travel the world, like, playing soccer. Like, imagine him being able to actually do that. This man will be insufferable. He's already insufferable. Imagine him with money and access to all the women he can have in the world. Like, nomadically, I'm just nomad. Nomadically, I'm nomad. Nomadically, Alex.
It's like if I put stuff in the fridge in a way that I feel is neat.
In addition to him being nomadically Alex, with 75 different jobs all over the world, mind you, all over the world, it's 2 countries and 2 states. This man wants to also be the fridge, inspector. He's out here in the fridge like, okay, I put the broccoli over here. When I came back, it moved about 5 inches. That's a problem. And she's going to be like, has that happened since, the water? Because I'm guessing he brought this up already about some kind of water that they had in the fridge. He going to bring it up again. It's like nomadically, he has to bring it up again. So you want to be a coach in Florida, a financial advisor in Arizona, and then you want to travel to the world, 2 countries and 2 states, mind you. And then on top of that, you want to be out here, managing and controlling the fridge. But then again, he's MAGA. This is their man. This is what you get. A controlling nothing and a half of a man who wants to literally make your life a living hell. But you are MAGA too. Okay? Match made in heaven.
horny.
Okay, I've also done the same thing.
Hey. So you people, you're not touching and agreeing anymore. I thought that was remember in my in my review when I spoke about them very early on, I said like the connection that seemed to be more so like, okay, I like physical touch. I'm gonna touch you. I like my woman that's like it gave very much like, oh, we are just like sex hungry. We just like sex. She meant it. But now you are leaving the whatchamacallit, the spa dates, and you're leaving, and Augustus is not horny. Okay, she's down there in her canal, it's throbbing. It's some friction down there. And he gonna talk about how like, oh, I initiated some too. I initiated some. My brother, she's horny. Okay? And perhaps if you use your mouth more to focus on the things that matters instead of just like talking the whole time about how you are a nomad, nomadically, okay? Maybe you could put your mouth into good use so that our good sis over here not gonna be horny. What?
Then grab me and push me on the bed and let's go.
You walked out the door.
Grab me and push me to bed. You walked out the door. What I'm supposed to do? Run after you naked and be like, please come cross my canal. What the hell? You don't like this lady because she ain't got that Latina spice. You've hit it a couple of times. You don't want to do it anymore. Nomadically. Right? Like nomadically.
Problem, then let me know at night and we will absolutely have a great time.
So your woman that you find attractive has to be asking you like, hey, can we please have sex? If you desire that woman and her body is warm, okay? Her breasticles right there. Her behind, it could be bright, it could not, but the behind gonna be there nonetheless. She's sitting there with her lips next to you like, if that's somebody you like and you find attractive and you really desire for real, she still has to go ahead and put an application and let you know like, oh, can we please have sex?
I love it when you just initiate like that.
It's one thing to want a woman that's going to initiate, but it's a whole nother thing to almost like make it her responsibility, like intimacy is not going to happen unless you come for me. She too wants to feel desired. She too wants to feel desired.
No, like you said something in Cabo, like the physical connection wasn't there, so I'm like.
So in Cabo, he done told you that the physical connection was not there. Was this before or after? He done had the conversation with, what's her name? Whatchamacallit, Brittany. Was that before or after? So he already told you that physical connection wasn't there. Well, what are you hoping that the more he has sex with you, he gon' what, find the physical connection?
I'm very attracted to you. I mean, I think that's been made clear.
Evidently not clear enough. He gonna be like, oh, in Cabo, I didn't say I'm not attracted to you. I did say that you're not the girl that I typically would go after. That's what I said. But I am attracted to you and I made it clear. Evidently not clear enough. Because you have her over here questioning whether you're attracted to her or not. The minute a person is gonna question whether you're attracted to them or not, it's because you probably made them feel like you're not attracted to them. But then again, both of y'all are MAGA, so.
Your period, realistically.
What period? What the period got to do with anything? The only thing a period gonna stop is a sentence. What do you mean? The only thing a period gonna stop is a sentence. Is you a man or is you not? What are we talking about? And I'm gonna stop. It's gonna say, and I don't want a kid right now. Are you slow? The 4 injuries you experienced, was one of them on your brain? I don't want a kid right now. If she's on her period, you're not about to have a kid. If y'all do it like what?
Not gonna get pregnant on my period.
I know.
I'm not gonna get pregnant on my period. Like, are you slow? The education system that's in Miami, that's so great. I was in Miami, that's in Florida, that's so great. Is that where you got your education from? Nomadic Allen. Okay? Nomadically Alex. Is that where you got your education from? You don't want a kid right now. You're not gonna have a kid when she's on her period. That's kind of like how that works. But go down there to Florida. Make sure your kids are as smart as you are.
I don't know how long.
Ovulation is usually like 2 weeks after my period.
Okay.
Ovulation is 2 weeks after the. What are we talking about right now, Alex? Nomadically. Please explain it to me nomadically. What the hell are you talking about right now? You don't want to be trapped with a kid. This will be not trying to trap you. Go ahead and travel the world. Okay, add another state. Go down there in Texas and count it as the world. What are we talking about?
And I'm happy to have a shared tracker if that makes you feel better.
A shared tracker, like why are we trying to track her period together, man of God? Like what the hell? Like, yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is crackhead behavior. This is the crack that Whitney was talking about. The cheap one. This $3.99 crack that this man done got on his nomadic travels, okay, all over the world. You know what I'm saying? Like nomadically. That's that crack. Like, what are we talking about?
I will let you know when it starts, when it's done.
That would, okay.
He's serious. He's serious. She gonna be like, I'll let you know when my period starts and when it ends. Actually, you are also very slow. Like, the same way honesty is not his strength, like common sense is not yours either. Okay? It's not. Because this man is talking you in circles for no, he's just talking. And you're sitting over here like, well, I will let you know when it starts and finish. No, beloved, stand up. But then again, you're MAGA. You guys are known to sit your ass down.
Now I feel like you're just pissed.
Clearly, I'm sexually frustrated.
You're sexually frustrated. So let me ask. The few times that you guys been together, okay, nomadically, okay, because Alex gonna be nomadic, right? He gonna be a nomad. So the few times that you guys have been together sexually and nomadically, have you reached the promised land? Because he's gone all over the world. Mind you, it's 2 countries. Has he been able to successfully arrive with you, okay, with you together to the promised land? Because, he's a nomadic traveler. Has he traveled with you to the promised land? Because the way he's using his mouth muscles, by the time it comes time to do what matters, I'm sure he's tired from all the. Have you? Because when done right.
Why didn't you fuck me last night? Like,
Because you just left me. I was turned on, and then when
when
you
we were
leave
in
me,
bed, why didn't you fuck me last night?
Okay.
And every time she's talking about something like, hey, this is making me feel this way, he keeps bringing it back like, well, why didn't you? There's literally no accountability on his part. Nomadically, there's none. It's like, it's all of the things that she has to do. Well, why didn't you have sex with me? Why didn't you do the things? Why didn't you organize the fridge? Why didn't you, why didn't you? Why didn't you tell me about your period tracker? Like, why are we not tracking it together? Why are you not telling me about how we going to move out of Cleveland? Why are you trying to trap me? Why are you? None of these things are, part of his responsibility. It's not like a team. It's not like a team effort. It's all the things that she has to do. You trying to make it seem like it's my fault, but it's like both of ours. You're not acting like it. Because everything she's brought up, you told her what she could have done better. You're not making it seem like it's a team, effort. No wonder you ain't make it to, to play soccer professionally. Because the thing about soccer, it has to be a team effort. Everybody has to play as a team. Okay? Everybody has to do their due diligence. Okay? At this point, you've irritated my spirit. Any empathy I have for you is gone out the window.
I don't really see how that's my fault.
Nothing is ever his fault. Nomadically, that is. Nothing is ever his fault at all. Nothing is his fault. Nothing is his responsibility. Nothing at all. At all.
I mean, are you satisfied when we do?
Tell the truth. Are you satisfied when we do? And she's just like, stop licking your lip. Like your feelers gonna move to the side again, please.
Why? Are you off your period?
Yes, I'm satisfied, which I think it's a lie, but go on, okay? But like we haven't since Mexico, and he gonna bring up the conversation around again, like, oh well, are you off your period? Like, what do you think? Let me ask, like, what do you think period is? Is she like what? Is she unpure during the periods? Like, is she untouchable during her periods? Like, what do you think? A lot of these MAGA men, they don't actually like or even know women. Okay? What is she dirty? Like, is she what? The woman with the issue of blood? You can't touch her. Like, you can't, like, what? Again, the only thing a period gonna stop is a sentence. Period.
We can definitely do that.
If I'm on my period, I'm plagued.
She gonna be like, if I'm on my period, am I plagued? Like, you can't touch me? Like, I gotta go and find me like a little house on the outside. Hide in the secret place until I'm off my period. Like, what the hell? What the hell are we talking about? I'm happy to initiate more. Why does it sound like a business transaction? Like, if this is a woman you desire, this should not be a problem. Okay, this should not be a problem at all. Oh, don't be coming at me now. Like, it's just a sassy podcast man. That's why it's giving. Just like a sassy, well, like, desire me too. Come at me then. Yeah, 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 yeah. Talking so much. No wonder your mouth muscles are tired when it's time to do what matters. Nomadically, that is.
Yeah, you've been joking about it, but now it's like eating you alive, apparently.
It's not.
Just argumentative. Like, there's nothing that's more annoying than an argumentative man. Like, I'm talking about, like, how are you, actually, how are you still turned on by that? Like, how? What are we talking about? A man can't just be like, what, you find him so attractive that it's like all the character traits don't make sense and you still proceed? Because an argumentative man, like, season of dryness. If you're gonna be an argumentative man, like, you're gonna lead us to dry lands. Okay? Season of dryness. Like, what is this man?
Like, I feel like I'm walking around.
The fridge gonna be a problem. The laundry, the folding of the clothes gonna be a problem. I feel like I'm walking on eggshells, but then you trying to trap me with the baby. Why won't you tell me about your period? Like, I need to know when your period gonna start and finish. But also don't trap me with the baby while you on your period. Don't also trap me in Cleveland because I got me 75 different jobs nomadically. Okay, one in Florida, one in Arizona, but then one internationally. Because you know me, I done traveled the world. Mind you, it's 2 countries. Australia and freaking what? Was it New Zealand? Just like 2 countries. So she walks away. Because at this point, we're fighting over water bottles. This man is just like sassy and aggravating the whole time. But then again, you chose him. He felt like home away from home. What your home gonna feel like? Because the same way your dad was out here interrogating this man, is that how your dad interrogates your mom and interrogates all of y'all? Just talks the whole time? Is that what made you feel like, you felt at home away from home? All y'all is MAGA, so get off my screen. And so now you have Amber and the chef, and they meet with Amber's brother, who lets us know that, he's been wanting his sister to find love and all of the things. And he's here to make sure that, Amber is in good hands and that Jordan has, the best of intentions for his sister. And so he proceeds to go ahead and ask him, what are some of his favorite things to cook, and, like, does he like food and all of the things? And I'm just kind of like, wow, what an insightful way to know this man's character. By asking him about the foods that he likes to eat or likes to make. What an insightful way. Again, just, man, somewhere, yeah, it just be nothing and a half. Or I'm here to know, if this man is really interested and serious about my sister. So tell me, what's your favorite thing to make?
What do you think that you cook the best?
I think I make really good burgers.
That's going to let me know, okay? That's going to let me know that you're really serious about my sister. He makes burgers the best. Now what? What did that tell you about his character? And so now you have the conversation between Vic and Christine. And when I say this, I'm not saying this to be, I'm not saying this to be like, harsh. I'm not saying this to be, dismissive. And I'm not saying this to be almost like divisive, right? I'm not saying this to mean this. But the conversation around, how police treat black kids between the two of them is part of the reason why, at least I know for me and so many like black people, it's part of the reason why they prefer to stay within their own groups of people and marry each other. Right? This doesn't mean that you cannot find love every which way. But you had Christine who was like, you know, I'm just kind of like grieving that there's gonna be a time where like there's certain things that I just will never understand that my kids will go through, right? If that's a black woman, like this man is talking about how like sometimes the police can be, very violent, like they in the neighborhood because he grew up in Brooklyn. They in the neighborhood and they're pulling out the guns on some black kids, right? But she grew up in the, in a small town, very like, suburban. She had like a very, I don't want to call it like a narrow, but she had like a very small, little, I just see the same people type kind of upbringing, not like a variety and a diversity of people the way you would see in Brooklyn where he's from. And he spoke about how like he wants his kids to grow up seeing different kinds of people, to be exposed to different kinds of thoughts and all of those things. Right? But the racial whatchamacallit difference, right, is something that like she admits she will never be able to understand what it's like to raise a black kid. And both of them admit that they will never be able to really understand what it's like to raise, biracial children because they always will feel like they exist in the middle, right? They're not white enough, but they're also not black enough. So that's something that the two of them will have to navigate. It's for that reason that so many people be like, you know what, where Keisha at? I'm going to go ahead and marry me Keisha. Okay, I'm going to find me, Jamal. I'm going to find me like, I'm going to find Marcus. And it's like, let's fall in love, but also just have the safety of not having to explain certain things. Because the reason why he has to bring up the conversation of like, black kids experience this is because she's white. You will not have to tell that to kids. Like you will not have to tell that to a black person because they too are living the same experience or they have heard or have seen people around them live that same experience. So there's like that shared understanding that just can make life just a little bit easier. Love is love for sure. But sometimes it's some of these cultural differences that makes you be like, you know what? Lakeisha Moore. Okay, like let's go ahead and be together. Let's just go ahead and be together. And so you have Brittany and whatchamacallit Devante who done let the dead bury themselves. They meet Brittany's parents and it goes well. They seem to really like him. And they talked about how like, divorce is not an option. Divorce is not an option. Beloved, divorce is always an option. Everybody going into marriage should know that divorce is an option. It's not an option you go for. It's not an option you wish to go for. But everybody should know that if they act in a way that's going to be disrespectful, that's going to be harmful, that's going to be, hurtful and, degrading or manipulative or abusive or any of those things to somebody, that they can go ahead and grab their belongings and be gone in Jesus' name. Because it's a lot of marriages that like, they're going to last, that we've lasted 50 years. But what was the quality? Okay? Who was out here betraying themselves? Who was out here betraying their own boundaries? Who was out here tootsie rolling, accepting any old behavior to make the relationship last? Historically, it's been women. And we see with Charles' daughter, who said I wasn't going to go ahead and have no sex unless this man commits to me. And the minute the guy is, pulling away from her, she's going to be like, fine, let me break my own boundaries to keep this man. Divorce should and always Divorce should always be an option. Everybody should know that I'm walking into this and that at any given point that I do not treat this person right, they can and should leave. Everybody should be aware of that. It's not a choice you go for to entangle your life with somebody else and then having to, break that apart. It's literally one of the most I can imagine because I've not been divorced. But it has to be one of the most heartbreaking things that anybody can go through, for sure. But whenever necessary, everybody should know that this person can leave me at any given point. And I can leave them at any given point. If they're not treating me right, if they're not kind towards me, if they're abusive towards me, if they're cheating on me, if they're doing all of those things, that everybody should know that this could end. Because that way, it teaches you to value what you have. If you know that maybe it could be gone, you put in a little bit more work. You do. And so now we have Breezy and I call him Blabbermouth O'Connor, and they meet up with, Breezy's mom. And whenever people were saying Breezy talks too much, like, dang, she sure does talk too much. She talks so much so like you could be having a conversation with her. You're talking and she's simultaneously talking as well. Like she doesn't stop to just like listen. I noticed she was doing that with her mom, and it was just kind of like, Lord. But, you have her talking to her mom, talking about how, like, he loves me so much. Like, he really, really loves me. I can tell this man, like, will make sacrifices for me, blase, blase. And they spoke about how, like, he's dirty again. And he gonna be like, if the worst thing that you can think about me is that, I'm a little messy, I would take that because, we have other things that, like, I guess align. I'm gonna disagree because whenever you have somebody who is not able to pull into the physical, not the physical, like the manual labor of maintaining a home, and they're expecting you to do it, eventually becomes a problem. Right now, it's just kind of like, oh my gosh, he's just so messy. His shoes are over here, his shoes is over there. If you start to pick up after him, first month gonna be like, okay, cute. Second month gonna be like, okay, cute. Third month, but by like a year, especially when you guys have kids and now you're having to be a mother to your kids, but also a mother to a grown man, eventually that becomes an issue. But she was sitting over there talking about how like, oh, he's very like, so long as he's malleable, I could teach him, I could help him with some things. Beloved, that was the job of his parents, his papa and his mama. That was their job. Because this man goes to his job and figures out how to do his job. The house has to be clean. That's a job. Okay? But men, again, I'm going to make a whole video on this. Men are not socialized to care about the home. So he going to be like, yeah, she's helping teach me. But realistically, you're going to be the one dusting. You're going to be the one picking up after him. You're going to be doing all of those things. And eventually, it's going to build resentment. Eventually, you're going to be having a man child in your space. Eventually. So that's not something you're like, oh, that's the only thing, I guess it's not that bad. It is bad. Comment down below and let me know because y'all know I stay reaching. I stay reaching. That's okay. And so now you have Emma and Mike who meets, his parents. And honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. His side of the family were right because what are you people doing on my screen? Because the conversation on kids comes up again. Right. And you have this, you have Emma talking about how, like, I'm not 100% sold on kids. And the mama going to be like, then what the hell are you doing here? Because it's like, he wants kids and he's expressed that to you. You guys should have the same smoke, if not more of the smoke for your own son. Because Emma did not propose to herself. Emma was proposed to. Now, she should have never said yes. But nonetheless, Ya's child proposed to her knowing good and well that this baby don't want no kids. Italians, they're going to be honest, okay? They're going to be honest now. His mama did not care like, oh, the process and the things. And she was like, I'm sorry. I don't want you to feel like you're being attacked. But like, what are you doing with my son? You don't want no kids. Like, what the hell are we actually doing, honestly?
Productive.
Why this man gonna wear shades inside the house? I guess, he was coming from the outside, but like his energy seems a little bit more off. She gonna ask like, how was your day? He gonna be like, productive. Like, what's the attitude? Did they get into a fight that we didn't see?
Scheduling and everything.
Where'd you go?
Is it me or is this man sounding a little different? Because so far he's been a lot more bubbly, trying to help everybody grow. He's been smiley. Like, is his demeanor a little different? But everybody is allowed to have like an off day. Ain't nobody gonna be like, all the time. Like I be having an attitude. Like yesterday I had the biggest attitude the whole day. Like I had an attitude the whole day. So that could just be it. But like his demeanor is a little off.
If you had called for 2 minutes.
So this man left last night and he ain't come back home because this apartment, I don't think, is that the apartment that they all, they're living in, or is that his own apartment? So she gonna be like, if you had just called, maybe things would have been a little different. Like I wouldn't be as worried as I was today. Like, where did he go?
Like, I don't need to be in constant communication.
So they're gonna be together and he gonna leave and go meet up with his friends and only like shoots her a text. He doesn't come home. He spends the night at his own, apartment, not the apartment that they share together, because of like, the process and whatnot. And he gonna be like, I'm not supposed to be like in constant communication with you all the time. She's not asking for constant communication. She's asking for like, hey, give me a call and just be like, you know what? I'm actually gonna stay out. Don't worry. Love you, babe. I'll see you tomorrow. Versus like a little text, because if we've been together this whole time, I'm guessing, because, with the process, they came back home, so they have to go to work and whatever the case is. But we just came back from Cabo, and I still don't know you. So don't allow my mind to like spiral. Just tell me. Ideally with a phone call, that's not her asking you to be in constant communication with her. Because again, she's a doctor. She's down there at the hospital, dealing with infectious diseases and the things. And you were down there plunging yourself, or what does he do for a living? I don't even think I know. She's gonna be like, I'm your fiance. First of all, I'm not asking for constant communication because that's not realistic. Can nobody communicate with you constantly? They have life, they have other things and responsibilities. But like also, I'm your fiance. Like, give me a call. I'm your fiance for like what, 10 days? Like, give me a call. Like what?
It's only been 48 hours.
If you need time to like decompress.
It's only been 48 hours. Mind you, you guys have to make a decision of spending the rest of your lives together in less than 30 days. So literally every second of every day counts. It doesn't mean that, you have to show up as like, your representative or whatever the case is. But like intentionality has to matter. In this experiment, communication has to matter. Being upfront with things, it has to matter. Because you guys have very limited time to make a decision. One of the biggest decisions of your lives.
It would be great if we could have like a 13-hour break.
So he asked her, like before he left, he was like, hey, it would be great, it would be great if we could have like a 13-hour break. Like, I get it on some like, okay, we, in the past, all we did was talk to each other. We were in Cabo, all we did was talk to each other. We came home, like, give me a second, like, let me go ahead and see my friends. You can also go ahead and see your friends, just like giving ourselves like a little time to like recharge. Not that being with each other is tiring, right? But, I'm married, but like I have days where I go out by myself. I do solo dates all the time. And like, my husband would do the same. Like he has his job, I have my business, and I have content. So diversity of like, you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing. It creates like this beautiful even conversation on something. Like we came home and it's like, how was your day? Because I wasn't part of your day. You get to tell me all the cool things that you did, and you wasn't part of my day, so I get to yap. Because one thing about me, I'm gonna yap. I get to yap about my day, right? It creates that like, intimacy, right? Like that communication and whatever the case is. But like, I've never felt the need to be like, oh, I need like 13 hours of a break from you. First of all, that's like a specific number. Like if he did say 13, that's like a really weird number to just speak out. I've never been like, oh, I need this many hours away from you. I guess maybe because the way our lives are set up, like we already just like have time apart. And so it's easy to kind of like come together. But again, this experiment is different, right? Even if you do need a little bit more space, like there's a way to communicate that so that your person does not feel like something has gone off. Because again, they don't have a lot of data to know what to expect. They don't. So for you to be like, oh, I need 13 hours away from you can make her feel like she's almost like a burden, that maybe you're getting tired of her. Like she doesn't know. And so for you to not only use up the 13, and be gone for like 48 hours and you haven't called her during that 48 hours, you've only shot her little text, that's that's not just needing space from your partner to just like recharge and like, live your life, like see your friends, go play soccer, go do, whatever hobbies you have, which everybody should have a hobby outside of their relationships, men and women, especially women. Please have a hobby. Please have activities that you like to do that ain't got nothing to do with this man. Please have friends that you have that ain't got nothing to do with the men that you're, in a relationship with. Have your own community, okay, that you're bringing into the relationship, right? This seems a little different. Something seems off with this man. Let me just, when I communicate, it doesn't have to be this thing that's like continuously going, for like 2 days. Like I just have to keep communicating. I just have to keep communicating. Yes, but it's also like, I don't think you're hearing what she's asking of you. You asked me for 13 hours. You were gone for more than 13 hours. And during that time, all you did was text. It got me a little worried because, again, we have to make this decision sooner rather than later. So I just want to make sure that we're still on the same page, blase, blase. A call would have perhaps been better. So instead of you to take 5 seconds to shoot her a text, why not take 5, right? You still are having your alone time, but why not take 5? Again, this is your fiance that you love, that you want to marry. Why not take 5 minutes and be like, you know what? Hey, Jesse, how you doing? I'm still over here just hanging out. I'm going to be a little bit, a little longer, like, but I miss you. I cannot wait to tell you all of the things that I'm doing. Like, I'm sure you're having a good time too. Like, I can't wait to see you, blase, blase. Again, you're getting to have your alone time, but also not making your person feel, rejected, abandoned, or whatever the case is because of how long you've been gone without communication. Now, if you guys are a couple that's been together for maybe like, multiple, years or like a lot of months and you kind of like know each other, even then I can't even see it happening. Like, I don't think I ever just go 24 hours without talking to my partner. Like, there's something. There's like a call, either he'll call or I'm gonna call. Like, and even when I'm on vacation, like, with my girlfriends or whatever the case is, there's a little bit more of a check-in, like, hey, how you doing? Like, how was your day? A little, little recap, like, because you're my person, like, you're my partner, a little recap, right? And if for some reason I can't do like a longer recap, then it's like, hey, like, this is happening, blase, blase. I'll tell you all about it later. But let's say you guys are like a couple that's been together for years. Then this person will just know, like, oh, maybe Chris, maybe his phone is like dead. Maybe something has happened because, again, they have data to work with. Okay? You guys have met each other for literally less than, at this point, it's been like what? Maybe 2 weeks at most. 2, 3 weeks, if anything, right? Like at this point, it hasn't even been like a whole month, I don't think. She doesn't still know you, you still don't know her. So during this period, it's very important that you communicate. As a matter of fact, over communicate to make this person feel safe. Because in the past, like there was another time where, like, I think he had stepped away, whatever the case is. I think, I don't know if they were still in Cabo. I didn't pause it because I didn't think it was something worth talking about. But I remember her mentioning, like, hey, thank you so much for communicating with me ahead of time because I know I would have spiraled if I had to almost like guess where you were or what you were doing. But like, I think, he was a little quiet or whatever. And he essentially told her like, hey, I just need a second. It has nothing to do with you. I just need a minute. And she was like, I really appreciated you, saying that because if you hadn't, it would have made me feel like, hey, he's upset because of something that I did. But the fact that he was straightforward and was like, I'm going through whatever. I just need a minute. It has nothing to do with you. That made her feel safe. That made her feel comfortable. And so whenever he came back, they had a conversation like, thank you so much for sharing. That's all she's asking, right? And especially because you guys don't know each other for real, she needs that. She needs that communication. And so do you. Right? Like she needs to be able to be upfront and be clear with you so that you're not having to guess exactly where she stands. It's like he's not hearing her at all.
You didn't say anything back.
I texted you saying that I love you and you didn't say anything back. That's beyond, oh, I just need me a second to go ahead and hang out with my friends. Something is up. So stop gaslighting this woman, talking about how, like, you know, I don't gotta communicate all the time, blah, blah, blah. If something is on, just go ahead and tell her. Because it literally, no matter how much solo and alone time that you're having, unless, of course, you're in a place where, like, no phones are allowed, you know, unless you, like, you know, you're taking a vow of silence, or like, unless you're doing something to that magnitude where, like, there's no phone, there's no media, there's no nothing, right? Unless you're doing something of that magnitude, you would not have lost nothing to be like, I love you so much. I love you right back. I'm having a good time. Can't wait to tell you all about it. It would have taken you the total of 2 seconds. So don't gaslight this woman. He gonna be like, I feel like a lot of my life I haven't been as direct as I need to be. What you about to be direct about, Lord? I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought he liked this lady, but his tonality is giving something is off.
Do you think we have a good physical connection?
Do you think we have a good physical connection? I thought y'all did too. You said she was beautiful, and you know she's been like, woo woo, there go Chris. He's so hot, like she finds you very attractive, and I was under the impression that you found her attractive too. Because when y'all did the round table with the guys, you were like, you know, she's very gorgeous, she's a doctor, she's all of those things that I didn't even realize like a woman like that could exist for me. I took that to mean like you found her attractive. And also, she's a very attractive woman. Very beautiful.
I'm trying to like pick my words carefully.
He gonna be like, I'm trying to pick my words carefully, but you know, our physical connection is very important, you know, and I want to make sure that I'm doing my best to get there. Like, did I miss something? So you don't find her attractive. So this whole time you were what, lying? To her or to yourself or to the rest of us? Because now I feel bamboozled. Like, what?
It's such a great connection.
We got engaged for a reason. We had such a great connection for a reason. So now it's in the past. We don't have a connection. We had one. Mind you, this baby is down to earth. This is down to earth, Chris.
It was real.
It was real. So currently it's not. In the past, it was real. Do y'all think that maybe because he pulled a doctor who is this beautiful, who has all this money, and also on the side, he low-key has, what's her name? Breezy drooling over him. Do you think that maybe made him feel like he's the gift that keeps on giving? Because mind you, when we met this man, he was talking about how like a lot of women are so superficial. They want them a guy that's going to be 6 feet. That's why I call him down to earth Chris. Right? I'm guessing in the real world, the girls have been like, I need me a man that I'm going to look up to. Okay? I need me a man that I'm going to go ahead and look up to. Me and you, we cannot see eye to eye. Okay? I think that was his experience. But now that he's done Love is Blind, was able to pull a doctor, a rich one, a rich, beautiful doctor who is obsessed with him. And then you have Breezy on the other side, drooling over him and Loki wishing that, you know, she was essentially with him and not with Blabbermouth O'Connor. Do you think that made him feel like, oh, I can pull whoever I want? Look at these women. Look at these women wanting me. So now all of a sudden, the beautiful doctor who is literally just like way out of your league is no longer somebody you find attractive, and you have to go ahead and work so hard to be in in a physical, to find a physical attraction towards her. Do y'all think that's okay? What else he gonna say? Because he gonna choose his words wisely, please. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Choose your words wisely. Because if you do not choose your words wisely, neither will I. Okay? You don't choose your words wisely, neither will I moving forward. Let's see.
Without sounding like a fucking dickhead.
To be totally honest, without sounding like a fucking dickhead, please do not sound like a dickhead. Okay, because the rest of us, we are not Michelle Obama. If you go low, the rest of us, we're going to Tootsie Roll in hell. Okay? We're going to be down to earth with you. Please do not sound like a dickhead. I'm literally pleading with you.
Date people who like fucking do like fucking CrossFit and shit.
Hey! The resurrected blood of the Lamb. In the real world, I date people who do like CrossFit and shit. In the real world, I be dating people that be doing CrossFit. Remember when I said, was it in my last review or the one before that? Remember when I said it sounded like this man was low-key trying to be like, he almost like he was trying to pitch to her to work out. Well, running could be fun. You might get into it after like mile 2. I worked out this morning, I swam, and it was so nice for me to work out and swim this morning. And she was like, I wish I enjoyed working out. I love eating and I do not love working out. And he kept being like, well, you gonna get into it. And I was like, maybe I'm reaching. But come to find out, I was not. So you like them to do CrossFit. Mind you, again, I'm not going to say there's a look to health, right? There's no look to health, right? I am a very healthy person. My numbers are where they need to be. And whenever they're not, I make whatever adjustments that I need to make, right? But when we talk about what society views as healthy, I am not. I'm a very thick woman. I got my curves. I got all of the things. Jessie is low-key whatever people would deem as the look to health, the look to people that maybe care about their health, the people that, work out. She's very petite, very lean with it.
A different type of
Body. He gonna be like, I like somebody that works out a lot and has like a different kind of like, body. Mind you, this is coming from down to earth Chris, who looks like Elf on the Shelf. These are his words. This man is audacious. Like, this man is audacious, and of course they're gonna end it right here. Child, I feel like they're gonna pick this up from the next episode. So I'm gonna end this right here and pick it back up on the next episode because I think this gonna deserve its own. Okay, it's gonna deserve its own time. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so that you always know when I upload. My sister's over here trying to distract me, but I'm gonna go ahead and see you guys on the next one. I'm gonna try to record the next one today if I have space on my low memory card, child. Y'all gonna pray for me, okay? Subscribe and pray for me in Jesus' name. I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Bye, Z's.